they're great. I don't want to say great because they're not great. They're a very good team. You know, as fans, we're always talking about, I want the guys to be unselfish. I want them to be a team. I want them to love each other. Don't we get a warm, fuzzy feeling when you feel like the players on your team love each other? It always makes you feel good. You know, people are like, well, I want a big name and I want this. I understand all the reasons that the people are mad at the Guardians. I get it. But those reasons are irrelevant right now. It's August. They're overachieving. They're playing way better than the Twins and White Sox, who have significantly higher payrolls. And they got, 48 games left, I believe, on the season? Guys, I think they got a great chance to win this division. Now, there's some tough runs coming up, and they've been an up-and-down team all year, so they're due for another tough stretch. It probably will happen. I'm a little antsy about this road trip where they go to San Diego and Seattle. I don't love that road trip. Although they're playing against Clevenger's pitching that first game, so maybe they'll smack him around. He's been the Padres' worst pitcher.
You guys see Clevenger's comments on the suspension?
On Deshaun Watson's suspension?
No. On the Tatis suspension.
Oh, I did not see his comments.
No. Slammed him.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I did, now that you say it.
Slam Tatis?
And made a comment that it's about time, like he needs to grow up and start
thinking. Clevenger's not the guy to say that.
Well, listen, what I said was, I'm like, dude, a year ago, you put all of your teammates in jeopardy by sneaking out on COVID.
I know, yeah, that was.
And I was shocked that anybody.
And he sucked in San Diego. He's been their worst starter.
Guys don't come out and say anything negative about that. They're like, yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, Clevenger came out swinging.
He doesn't care. He was really outspoken on the Astros.
Like if Machado,
he was very
If
hard.
Machado would have said it, you would have been like, okay, he's kind of a mentor to Tatis. I get that.
Yeah, but Clevenger saying, I don't think he has the cachet in that clubhouse.
No way. No way he has the cachet.
Interesting to see how that plays out now.
He still has time to bury him. Hey, listen, you're a fourth. Hey, listen, matter of fact, we might need to option you down, dog. You can't be talking out of turn. You ain't even.
Nah, Clevenger's out of line with those comments. But getting back to the Guardians, guys, they are truly, as individuals, you don't look at them and you say, at least what they've proven in the big leagues to this point, you're like, I don't know if there's enough guys to be a playoff team. But they play so well as a team, and you don't think about that with baseball as much. Yeah. And they've got key guys like Bieber's pitching his best baseball of the year right now.
His last 4 games, he's looked like Shane Bieber.
Right? McKenzie's been phenomenal almost the whole season. Clase is absolutely phenomenal at the back end of the bullpen. Karinchak is given, although he couldn't pitch in Toronto because he won't get freaking vaccinated.
That was ridiculous.
But, anyway, but he's been great since coming back.
And there was concern about Karinchak.
Of course there was.
With the spin.
Well, the timing of his decline came absolutely in sync with when the spin started going.
And think about this, guys. They don't have much power. They have 3 guys with double-digit homers. 3 guys.
Well, it's just the way that the organization sort of reshaped the way that they scout.
They get on base. They run the bases. You got 5 guys with double-digit steals, which is very uncommon in this baseball. And their middle infield has been great.
And to your
Jimenez
point,
and Rosario.
They're 61 and 50. What else do you want?
They might win 90 games.
So you would go if Frankie was still at short and Clevenger was in the rotation?
Why would you want Frankie in this organization, by the way?
Frankie's playing well. We don't need to bash Frankie. He's having a good season. But the guys they got are doing great.
Doing better than – compare the numbers.
Yeah, my whole point is, you hear from people, well, they don't ever retain their stars. They're winning. What else
they didn't just retain Ramirez.
What else? And they did. That was an exception. That's not going to become the norm.
No, I know.
And he did them a huge solid by giving them a home team discount.
By the way, he's not even playing that great right now.
We got all three. We got all 3 of y'all in here. Let me ask you this question to prove. I don't even think it's winning or losing at this point. If the Guardians won the World Series this year, what significance would that play on attendance next year?
Oh, I think they would come back.
It would be better, but they wouldn't sell out.
They're not
going to sell out 455 in a row.
They are 25th in the league. So they're averaging 16,000 fans
it would go,
for home games.
25th, it would go up to what, 19?
20th, 15th,
I would say middle of the pack best.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I don't think
and that's after the World Series.
Well, look at you've got a test case. In 16, they went to the World Series and they should have won.
Yep.
And the next year they came back and they had another great team and they still finished 24th or 20th.
They had a better team.
They did. I thought they were better positioned to win it in 17.
And that was with Edwin, and attendance did bump. It did go up.
But not hugely.
Not to the level
it didn't go up to where you'd want them to think they're a top 10 attendance team.
Because of the city and the amount of money in the just not even just the city, in the suburbs, whatever, we understand it's never going to be a top 10 baseball market. But there's
It
no
was
reason
2
that-
decades ago. It was.
Right, but there's no reason that this team should be 25th.
No.
Because they can. I've screamed about the payroll. I've screamed about guys a million times. I get it. I'm annoyed by the owner. But the bottom line is this team is consistently competitive. They're consistently competitive.
Over the last decade, they've
But they
done
s-
more with less
but they
than
still-
anybody in the American League.
I don't
They
want to bring
still
this up.
should have spent money to improve the team. Because, by the way, they're only a half game back of Toronto for the third best record in the American
I don't
League.
want to bring this up. I don't like to be that guy, but here's the thing. We told you, if you're a business owner, you own a team, and you said, if I bring you a World Series, it's only giving me 3 spots on attendance, I'm running a business. At what point in time would they say, do you legitimately think that they would take the team and go somewhere else that is
Well,
a
they're not
baseball
doing
city?
that. We know they can't do that.
They
with
just
their-
signed an
Yeah, they're not
extension
going
lease.
anywhere.
Right.
And the
And
whole
there's worse
art-
markets than ours.
Well, look at Oakland. Oakland's drawing fewer than 10,000
Now, they're
fans a game.
horrible, to be fair.
They're horrible, and their stadium is
stadium's
dumb.
awful.
Right, but even when they were good, they don't
But
draw.
they're averaging 9,000. There are minor league teams that average more than 9,000 fans
Yeah.
a
Look
game.
at Tampa Bay. I don't know what Tampa's averaging this year. I haven't looked.
Tampa, hold on.
But, I
Tampa
mean, they're-
is also.
they're always near the bottom.
They're 28.
Miami?
They're averaging 14,000 a game.
And they're good.
And, I mean, Tampa, I will tell you from living there for 5 years,
It's in a bad
part of that
location.
time they were good.
Right.
It's in St. Pete. People in Tampa feel you need a passport to go over the bridge.
Yeah.
It's like east side, west side here.
Exact worse. The mistake they made in Tampa was 1, not having a retractable roof, and 2, not being in Tampa.
And they've tried. I know
They have
they've tried
tried.
getting
It's
a
really
stadium in
tough.
Ybor City around
but
that
part of
area.
the problem,
tried.
it's just
Tough.
that Southern, Florida is just not. The people down there, they root for the Yankees, they root for the Red Sox.
You know
There's
what,
already-
though? I'll tell you, from living there for 5 years,
Yeah.
this is why I disagree with that.
Okay.
That is one of the best NHL markets in the country. And they didn't know what hockey was when the Lightning came around. They didn't. But when the Lightning consistently won, and I'm going back to their first Stanley Cup in 2004, after that, you couldn't get a ticket to a home game.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
the
the
Rays
same thing with the
consistently do
Buccaneers.
well.
The Rays do well. The Rays, this is why I'm saying it's 2 things. On a beautiful sunny day where there's a high likelihood it's going to rain later in the day, the last thing I wanted to do when I was in Tampa, and I loved living in a city with a major league team, was drive across the bridge 30 minutes and then sit indoors on a beautiful
that's
sunny
true.
day.
That's true.
Put a retractable roof stadium in Ybor City, which, by the way,
Yeah.
big Cuban population, nobody loves baseball more
Right.
than the folks in Ybor City. You would see them automatically, in my view, you would
Yeah.
see them crack the top 10 in attendance. If they had the quality of organization that they do now, they would draw fans and they would go to the games.
And I would argue they're the only team in baseball that's done more with less than the Guardians.
They're right there. We've talked about this
They've
a
had a
million
lower
times.
payroll than the Guardians
I know
every
they have.
year for the past
Yeah,
decade.
I know. I probably am too close to some of the guys with Cleveland, and I just love what they've done.
They're
I
the
think
best
there
run
are
team in
28
town.
teams right now that would trade front offices with the Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
without thinking
Their
about
front
it.
office is phenomenal.
It's pitiful and embarrassing that the best run team in town is the one that's viewed third on the list
I know,
publicly.
it's sad.
It's pitiful.
It breaks my heart like nothing else. I don't know what the answer is. I honestly don't. I don't know if it's owner fatigue. I'm sure that there is something that, and I know this. I don't know what the research is. If anybody's done a real research project on
case
this,
study.
but I'm telling you, the number of people that I hear from that say, I don't care if they're the Yankees record, they're not the Indians anymore, and I'm not supporting.
That's
them.
part of my final take, and it was last
you
week
can
too.
you can